The history of DriveStop began here on the 4th of October 1997 at Save Services, Hockley. The business was surrendered 18 months later, since the sheer number of drive-offs meant that continuing with the business would have been financial suicide. A quick market research of the surrounding petrol stations revealed that this sort of crime was rife amongst the forecourt industry. Present means of combating this sort of crime, although effective for a short period of time, helped reduce the frequency of drive-offs, but eventually criminals managed to hack the system or find legal loopholes in defeating the system. This sort of prevention is considered to be passive in that they are primarily intended to deter theft by their very presence rather than take an active role in preventing theft from the forecourt. In other words, they do not prevent the vehicle from leaving the forecourt with the stolen fuel. It is the only area of the retail industry that allows the criminal to get away with very little resistance. Try shoplifting in a department store whilst being observed, and the chances of getting away are extremely low. So we come to our first problem. How do you prevent a vehicle from leaving the forecourt? We looked at various systems already available on the market, but after several months of testing and design modifications, it was found that these systems were either impractical, inefficient, and unreliable. But above all, they could all be beaten by the criminal. Our development work concluded that we needed a completely new system that would be a hybrid and designed on the proven technology already available in the marketplace, albeit that further design and development work would be required to refine the system and make it acceptable within the forecourt industry. The Stinger system has been used by the police in the UK to halt a vehicle by deflating its tyres. The Police Stinger is an excellent device, but it does have some minor disadvantages. It is manually deployed by a person. The operator is exposed to injury by handling and deployment. Deflation rate is not controllable. Storage of the assembly. All 4 tyres are deflated. Its advantages are that it works. It is well known within the criminal sector. And most important of all, it looks scary. So, it was decided that it was about time that the Stinger concept and the image was improved. In order to achieve this, we needed to design into the Stinger the following protocols. The Stinger needed to have intelligence. The Stinger must know when to trigger without operator intervention. It must only deflate the rear tyres. Professional advisors within the motor industry will confirm that so long as you have full steering control, brakes and inflated front tyres, then it is very difficult to lose control of the vehicle. Deflated rear tyres simply makes it feel as if the vehicle has gone back heavy, such as pulling a heavy load, and in no way would affect the ability of the driver to control the speed and direction of the vehicle, nor will it prevent the driver from bringing the vehicle to a halt. Furthermore, passing vehicles sounding the horn in an attempt to bring the driver's attention to their deflated rear tyres would mean the offending vehicle would be unable to travel too far before having to stop. The human element of deployment had to be removed. The operator must have no control over deploying the Stingers, but still have full control in disarming the Stingers should he or she wish to release the vehicle. Then came our biggest design problem. What design protocols were needed for the Stinger system to be acceptable on the British forecourt? For this, we enlisted the help of the Petrol Retailers Association, police, fire safety officers, local councils, in fact anyone remotely linked with the forecourt industry and who would have any say in the safe working practices that are used on the UK forecourts. It was the valuable input from these professional organisations that has made the DriveStop system what it is today. It took 7 years to overcome the difficult design constraints. Continuous designing and testing resulted in our first system that was ready for trialling. This was achieved in January 2003 at an independent service station in the West Midlands. The result was the dramatic reduction in overall crime on the forecourt. 6 months prior to the installation of the DriveStop system, there were 36 recorded incidents of drive-offs. During its trial, the total drive-offs equaled 0. However, there was one incident of theft, and that was a pedestrian on foot who stole from the shop. Customers were interviewed for their views and feelings about the Stinger system.
Saw it in the paper, yeah. Good idea.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I know they used to have a lot of drive-offs, didn't they?
Yeah.
One time.
If you got nothing to feed, you got nothing to worry about.
That's right. You wouldn't be in here, would you?
No, that's it. No, good idea. They all ought to put them.
It's a good idea, I think.
Yeah, I think it's an excellent system. I think it stops people driving off, which saves everybody money in the long run. It's a good system.
The drive-stop system was a success, so we now had to make it available to the independent markets who are already suffering low margins. The result was version 2. Advancements in technology and manufacturing practice streamlined production to reduce the overall cost of the system. New design and installation techniques allowed for an efficient layout that was more pleasing and cost-effective. The DriveStop version 2 system operates in 4 metre sections as opposed to the 1 metre sections as in version 1. This reduced both the manufacturing and maintenance costs of the system. Modular design built into manufacturing means the system is available custom manufactured to our customers' exact specifications. As for the cost of the system, you, the customer, decide that. We simply custom manufacture your DriveStop system to your budget and specifications, and make the recommendations on which system meets your budget requirements. Your site will be measured, a price is agreed, and a date of installation will then be given within 48 hours. Your system will be manufactured at our factory in the West Midlands. Manufacturing normally takes 4 to 6 weeks. Once manufactured, your system is delivered to your site. 2 weeks prior to installation, we send you coming soon signs for your pumps. This will make your customers aware of the pending DriveStop installation. Installation normally takes 4 to 5 days without closing your site and with minimum disruption. A 3-inch by 4-inch slot is cut into the entrance and exit. The DriveStop unit is then laid. The traffic lights are installed and a link is made to the cashier's desk. The signs and the audio sounders are fitted to complete the installation. After commissioning, your system is fully soak tested for 3 weeks. An endless loop video is played in visual range of your customers at the cash desk, so that your customers can see how your system works without having to ask you or your cashier the same boring questions. How does it work? What is it? And so on.
Warning, the DriveStop system has been activated. Do not leave the forecourt. Failure to observe this warning may result in your vehicle tyres being deflated.
Finally, full training is given on how to operate your system safely. This involves hands-on training for the operators with a dummy drive-off car. After the training, a certificate is issued, licensing the named person as a qualified operator. DriveStop is not simply about security. We also believe in safety. Safety that is not only built into our systems, but safety on the UK forecourt. So additional work may be carried out to make your site safer. Customers who wish to implement traffic control management on their site may do so by having the DriveStop traffic lights show green for entry and red for no entry. These, with the no entry signs, will help control and manage traffic flow on your site. Finally, we leave the site fully commissioned and a sign clearly informing your customers that the system is now live. The DriveStop system is protected by several UK and PT worldwide patents, as well as the copyrights on the DriveStop P range of syringes. The P7 syringe took 3 years to perfect its metal and material composite. And how does it work? Simple. A 4mm Teflon coated brass sleeve leaves the needle and is taken by the tyre of the offending vehicle. Nothing mechanical or indeed organic is 100% reliable. Everything breaks down eventually. We cannot prevent this type of failure, but we can control the end action of such a breakdown. We achieve this in several ways, of which I shall describe 3. Firstly, natural forces and the weight of steel are used to its advantage. Secondly, the mechanism that parks the stingers safely is manufactured to be 3 times more powerful and durable than the lifting gear. This reduces the likelihood of the stingers remaining active in the event of a fault. Should there be a power failure, in the event that the stingers are activated, they simply reset to their dormant state. Power is only used to bring the stingers to their upright position. This power is in the form of pneumatics, which is both clean and very reliable. Continuous in-house laboratory testing, where faults are deliberately introduced into the system, ensure that we are not exposed to any sudden surprises. After all, the success of your business is our future. Third, all major components used in the control and parking circuit are manufactured from stainless steel. Non-critical components are plated to protect against environmental degradation. Put all this together and you have a typical drive-stop system. Use of warning signs on the walls, pumps, nozzles and traffic lights will make sure that your customers are aware of the consequences of attempting to commit a crime on your site. And because the criminals stay away, proven to be true by our existing installations, your site will feel safer.
From being a female, feel safer on the forecourt.
If in the event a drive-off should occur, then the operator simply actuates the drive-stop remote control unit. The operator needs to use both hands in order to trigger the drive-stop system. This was implemented to make sure that the operator was given their full attention to the incident. A loud, audible sound is heard to bring the attention of the customers who may be in the shop, thereby adding to the number of witnesses to the event. It also notifies the manager or owner of the site who may be in their office at the time. Outside, a clear, audible warning is continuously played.
Warning, the drive-stop system has been activated. Do not leave the forecourt. Failure to observe this warning may result in your vehicle tyres being deflated.
The traffic lights go from green to alternate flashing red, which means you must stop. A UK Highway Code stipulation that is familiar to any fully qualified UK driver. So far, by operating the remote control unit and the audio-visual warning, all the operator has simply done is to first notify the offending vehicle that he or she has forgotten to pay for their fuel, and will they please stop and pay. This will eliminate the "I forgot to pay and if you had given me the chance I would have paid" scenario. Secondly, with the audio warning and flashing traffic lights, it will bring any customers on the forecourt into the equation, thereby further increasing the number of witnesses to the event. No longer is it a situation where only the cashier and the offender are involved. We now have witnesses to the crime, which helps the police in executing a successful conviction.
What about stealing the wrong car?
This is addressed in several ways. Firstly, the entrance and exit is divided into 2 4-metre sections. The operator can operate only the section accessed by the offending vehicle as it attempts to leave the forecourt. If you wish to take the responsibility of that decision from the operator and let the drive-stop system take control, then you can opt for the inductive loops. This will accurately target the offending vehicle whilst protecting any vehicle that may be entering the forecourt whilst the drive-stop is active.
The system has been activated. Do not leave the forecourt. Failure to observe this warning may result in your vehicle tyres being deflated. Warning, the drive-stop system.
As a further backup, in warning your innocent customers, you may opt for the traffic lights to be fitted on the opposite side and facing any vehicles that may be attempting to enter the forecourt.
Yeah, the system is good, but my problem is most of my drive-offs occur when my cashiers are busy or at busy times.
We have an optional upgrade that is available which will notify the cashier both audio and visually should a vehicle move away from a pump without first paying for their fuel. This is available as both an optional extra or as a standalone system for those customers who simply wish to bring a drive-off to the cashier's attention.
Is it legal?
We have given countless demonstrations to the police force throughout the UK. In fact, on average we get 1 inquiry a month from the police. The police have welcomed the drive-stop system and even contributed to its design and operation success. Their tremendous help and advice has helped us make sure that the drive-stop operates within the constraints of the law. The damage is not caused by the operator of the drive-stop system, but rather the driver of the offending vehicle, who has chosen to ignore the warning signs and leaves the forecourt whilst the red lights are flashing. Ultimately, he or she is responsible for damaging their vehicle. Our answer to the "is it legal" question is therefore simple. Telephone your local bilking officer and ask him.
What if they come back and cause trouble?
First of all, the name DriveStop is well known within the criminal sector. Media exposure has educated the public in what the system is capable of. As a result, the criminals stay away, and your customer base increases as customers feel safer on your forecourt because you have eliminated the criminal element from your property. There will be no fear of being run over by an offender attempting to leave the forecourt at great speed in an attempt to steal fuel. In the event a drive-off does occur, then the rate of deflation is controlled by the drive-stop system, allowing the offending vehicle to leave the forecourt, thereby giving a clear indication of theft and the intent of not to pay for their fuel. A theft is not a theft until you actually leave the premises with the goods. How far the vehicle is allowed to travel before it is brought to a halt is dictated by you, the customer. You can choose between 24 hours to only a few minutes. However, we do recommend a maximum deflation rate of 3 minutes, since this would allow the offender to leave the forecourt area and be deflated within a 1 mile radius of the forecourt. Both our businesses rely on customer satisfaction and repeat business, so it is imperative that we do not make your site appear as a fortress, but rather a safe, friendly place of business. How we do this is by making your system almost invisible. Indeed, most customers are not aware of the drive-stop system until they read the pump signs whilst filling up.
Like an idiot. I've never even noticed it before.
Recently, the media has discovered 1 or 2 of our installations, and as a result, the drive-stop has been featured in both the local and national press. Both the BBC and the ITV news networks have shown the drive-stop system in full deployment mode.
But at this garage, you'd be foolish to try to beat the drive-stop device.
DriveStop is already gaining a reputation built out of 2 years of trials, deflation tests and the valued input and guidance from the people and legal organisations that have made DriveStop the product it is today. With fuel prices continually on the increase, it's a pity that this problem will only grow in the future. Our aim is to control its growth by being 1 step ahead. DriveStop, protecting your property.